who are we seeing out of your corner group?
Yeah, it's a really good group. It's a deep group that'll take us well into day 3, where you're going to find players with the potential to start. But when you look at the top, here are my top 5 guys, with Mansour Delane from LSU right at the very top. He's got excellent tape, followed by a couple volunteers. Jermod McCoy, we had to see him at 24, did not play this year, so you got to go back to that 24 tape. Colton Hood was excellent. A.J. Terrell's younger brother, Avion Terrell, big-time corner out of Clemson. And Brandon Cisse, we've already seen his jumps today. He's off to a very explosive workout.
Thank you, Rich. DJ, we appreciate it. D'Angelo Pons, really interesting prospect. He's a guy that was a defensive MVP, is, of course, the Hoosiers went on a national title run at both the Peach Bowl and the Rose Bowl. Now, measurements, right? 5'8 and a half. Some people are going to say, well, where does he belong on this field? He weighs 182 pounds. The man can jump.
Oh, boy, can he ever. And last night we got to see Sonny Styles from Ohio State go 43 and a half on the vertical at 244 pounds. Well, a lot less weight, but still gets up in the air like NASA invented him. Look at Pons here, tying the 43 and a half. Incredible jump by D'Angelo Pons. Okay, you can talk about the height all you want, vertically challenged. He's added a little weight since we last saw him. I don't know what that's going to translate in terms of the speed, but this guy is a nickel player all day long, and he's going to be terrific. And DJ, I see him in a lot of ways like a Marcus Jones with New England. We're all searching for that big nickel type player, but there are a lot of guys who look like this who can play in this league.
Yeah, and I'm not so sure, even at that undersize that he is, that he can't hold up on the outside. And we're going to watch him work out in a second here, but I thought it'd be fun if we show what he looked like on the football field, pads, playing the game, which he does exceptionally well, even though he's undersized. Let's start, first of all, plant and drive. Everybody remembers this from the playoff game. See it and absolutely trust. Pull the trigger, drive on the ball, pick it, and take it back for a touchdown. Very physical, always gets his hands around you, can reroute you, is able to disrupt, again, down the field. Boom, big hit. Plays much bigger than what he looks like on paper. So just a really, really tough kid. Run support, not a problem. He's more than happy to get involved there as well. So is he going to play inside? Is he going to play outside? I think he'll have a decision to make, but he is a football player.
But it is North Carolina's defensive back, Marcus Allen, running the first 40 of Friday and of the defensive back group. There he goes. 4-5-1 to start us. Four, 4-1.
That'll play.
That'll play. Off he goes. 4-4-2.
Yeah, they got some needs there.
The 2 firsts in the first 20 picks of the draft. 4-3-8.
Jeez.
We have our first sub 4-4-40 of the 2026 Combine, and it's Dalen Everett.
And he's showed up in big games.
Fuller's second run.
Yeah, much better.
Is an improvement. Four, 5-9.
That was a start more than anything else.
Colton Hood, his 40 time is 4.45.
He's a little stumble too.
Tall, lean corner, running a 40 at 4.46.
The official time of the Ohio State Buckeyes,
which is 4.46. Watched Amani Jackson run from Alabama. You said it looked fast, Daniel.
He's a legit track dude with a 10.2500 in high school. So
we can confirm it was fast.
Yeah, it looked fast.
4.41. Off he goes.
Whew. Wow. I think he's had the most important 40 times here because the tape is really, really good. And then that was the question that exists. And this kind of what we saw yesterday with Rodriguez at the linebacker position, this is the corner version of that. Chris Johnson, really good tape. And then the question was, okay, well, just how athletic and explosive is he? Because the instincts and ball stills are excellent.
Heck of a run there. Will Lee, one of the 13 Aggies here, School record for them, most by any school at the combine, 4.52. Here we go.
Massive difference.
I
didn't stumbled into that one.
You did. He didn't.
Yeah, no question.
He rolled into that one. It's very rare to see a full 1/10 of a second either way, and we've seen that now in the last 4 runs twice. Off he goes. 4-4-4, the first Moses Malone of our broadcast. Having more second time is an improvement.
Excellent. And again, I mean, this is not a 5'9", 5'10" corner.
The Giants rounding out the top 5. Here's Muhammad. Malik Muhammad with a 4.42.
We've seen some great times. Got grief because they were fish out of water in those drills, but the linebackers were outstanding going through it.
You were going down the list of all the scouting jibes. Oh boy,
that'll answer that question.
4.36. We got ourselves a new fastest time here at the combine.
That's rolling. So that's a great example of someone that you go back and you watch the tape and say, okay, well, what is it? How are guys getting on top of him? It's got to be an eye issue. He's not seeing it as cleanly because it definitely is not a speed issue. That was flying.
4.36. Here he goes. 4.36 is a 4.32.
Look at that.
A round of applause as he goes around the stadium. Wow. Indeed. Prideful moment.
I need it.
4.32.
I told you I needed it.
You got it.
He'll definitely go into Saturday as the clubhouse leader of this combine, one would think.
Unless the safety's got something to say about it, but that is a blazing fast time for a safety to chase.
Fesian's price off with a 4.45 and improved 40. 4.4 flats.
Yeah, that shows up on the tape too. You see it.
We'll never have that question answered at the combine, I don't think. 4.54. Can't wait to see what the official time is for Pride. But this is all Georgia Bulldogs. Dalen Everett, Ladd McConkey, and the man who's now making $28 million a year. So George, just because you're getting torched in the simulcam, give everyone else a little
last
deal.
in line here, first in line to get paid.
No doubt. What a moment we just saw here. 4-3-2. When we come back, Group 4 gets out on the field. What was Lucy's hand time? Yeah, wow. We got a simulcam. Maxwell Hairston, who was last year's fastest corner. Christian Gonzalez, one of the best in the business now in New England. And Pride Jr.
That means he's got to go to the Dolphins or the Jets, right? By the rules of the video.
Look at all the official times. The simulcam confirms it. Mizzou football loves it, to say the least. Let's take a look at the official 40s presented by EA Sports Madden. You can also see the projected Madden speed ratings for each individual. So Maxwell Hairston still stands above everyone else from last year's combine with a 4.28, but these are some really fast times.
Speaking of good football players, how about your Tennessee Vol here and Colton Hood? We're watching him run and go through the workout and you get a chance to go back and watch his video, this will show you why he's in the mix as a first-round corner. It's a pretty complete skill set. Very patient in press. Doesn't lunge, doesn't get himself out of position. He can carry those vertical routes. You saw with the 40 time that he ran. That's not a problem. He's got enough speed. He's not afraid to do the dirty work in the flat. He gets off blocks, plays with some energy as a tackler. The Senior Bowl, I mentioned, it was a good week, but it wasn't a Quinyon Mitchell type week where he was just clearly the most dominant player. Just kind of solid, real solid week. And then now he's kind of taken that week of practice and he's started to elevate himself again with what he's done as a runner, running the 40, testing, and we'll see him go through the workout right here.
All right.
The mix to be the first corner
look
taken.
at you turning us
Professional. Press man. He's very comfortable up there in press. He's got the ability to just open up. Look, he's pacing a little offhand jam. Boom. Get that hand on him. Find the football down in the red zone. Not only find it, but go ahead and pick it off and take it back a good chunk of the ways, but you don't see there. Again, find and play the ball. Rips it away and ends up falling right on top of his body as a playmaker. The toughness, not a problem. We talked about Hood being willing to do it. He'll do it as well. And you look at the numbers just in terms of the size and length and hand. Stephon Gilmore's good company to keep.
That's a Defensive Player of the Year during his career.
Yeah, I don't think the McCoy camp is going to mind that comp at all.
Stacey Dales?
Yeah, just an injury update as well. We know that Jermod McCoy missed all of last season for Tennessee with that ACL. He suffered it back January of 25. He has been fully clear.
Always fun to look at how it correlates to what you see when you're watching these guys actually play football. So what does it look like? Let's go to Kamari Lassiter, one of the best corners in the league, on one of the best defenses and one of the best secondaries. Back to the ball, then the ability to locate and find it. See him open up real smooth, real fluid, and then back. Look how fast he gets his head around, locates, and plays the football. Again, look at it from this angle. Turn your head, find it. That is not easy to do, and he made it look extremely easy as we see another Bulldog here and Everett going up and getting it. So it's fun to watch these guys find and play the football. Can you take it away? Colton Hood says, yes, I can. And then here's the last one, Pride, with the fastest 40 of the day. A little bit tight there in some of the ability to open up, but tracks it well and hauls it in. Nicely done.
Temerity to do so.
It wasn't a permanent. It wasn't a permanent opportunity, though. It was you get say your hellos and then you get out of there.
Right. I remember that. Every year. Part of the 40.
And Rich,
Yes, sir.
shouldn't they have painted that one seat for Coach Coughlin as well? Because he always had the same seat when he came here.
Yeah, he was
for
on
his
the 10.
timing. Yep, he would sit on the 10.
Coughlin with my BlackBerry.
Nice.
Okay, I'm totally dating myself.
Yeah. Did he confiscate it?
He looked at me and he said, "Come on, Rich, you're."
That not being well received.
He was not. He was just sitting there getting ready to time, but he always sat on the 10-yard split. He was a 10-yard split guy.
Yeah. Because he doesn't like the gauntlet.
Yep.
So
What kind of a drill are you having where you're dropping the football? Do I sound like someone we know?
That's me.
There you go.
Am I that predictable, guys?
well,
No, it's just a but this is something that a lot of DB coaches have been talking about in recent years for both of you. Wide receiver drills, because of how valuable possessions are by making sure you catch the ball and take it away and give yourself an extra opportunity.
there's nothing more deflating than a dropped interception for a defense. And you can see Everett, who went. It makes it a lot easier to catch the ball when you're running right here and you catch the ball out in front. You don't let it cross your face.
Leslie Frazier gave me a great conversation with me about him taking his.
You know what they should do with this drill, guys? They should have officials here, seeing if
Catch or no catch.
if they have 2 feet down and we could combine. See a combine, right? We could combine this drill to show off the hand and speed skill set with a fish fumble or incomplete.
What you're going to combine is you're going to combine catching a ball with your hands and with your teeth is what you're going to combine.
I got
try
you.
and do that.
As long as it's not two guys catching it and rolling over.
By the way, remember another favorite combine moment when receivers did this and Steve Smith was out there barking at some of the throwing quarterbacks that they're.
Can we get him to back off a little bit, hike tongue in cheek, and Steve walked over to the guy and unloaded on him.
About the next 5 were in the stands.
By the way, that was a very nice.
And he's a good player.
DJ, any thought about Julian Neal and being a conversion guy as well, swinging
Safety?
back? Yes.
Yeah, he looks like a size of a safety, and he's tough. There's Pons. Yeah, he's letting the ball travel too far. Face.
Nice warm applause from the Indiana faithful here.
So there's your contrast, right, other than the drop at the end.
He is a big corner.
I'm telling you, those Seattle corners, these University of Washington corners,
they're made for Seattle, right?
Is that what it is?
That's what I was talking about earlier. Reek Woolen looks like he's going to be leaving. Those guys look like just like Reek Woolen in terms of body type.
And Jed Fish, you know, has the connection with Pete Carroll. So
yes.
And I was hoping Signetti would be here. You know?
Yeah, he's a fascinating guy, man. And you talk about having the respect of everybody.
Indiana University of Pennsylvania before Kurt also took that job later.
Is that Frank Signetti, right?
Yeah, Frank Signetti. And there's another brother who had been a longtime NFL coach.
We start with a vowel?
Yeah, as well we should. Colton Hood, by way of the University of Colorado to Tennessee, came in highly rated. Daniel Jeremiah's got him as one of the top corners on his board, and he did nothing to dispel that. He did nothing to change it. Movement skills, excellent. Look at him here in the W drill. Look at that movement. Transition, catch the football, run through it, finish it. And one of the things that we talked about, the added bonus you get out of him is not just the coverage ability, he will be excellent in the run game because he will come up and spill guys who are trying to get to the perimeter.
He also didn't wear them while he was working out, but might have the best specs of anybody here this weekend.
He was looking very studious, wasn't he?
D'Angelo Pons. Okay, great vert, 43.5. He didn't run. He's added a little weight. We'll see what happens with him at the pro day. But this is a guy that obviously the crowd loved watching. He's a baller.
Yeah, so did the scouts and so did the teams. They love watching this guy because he has put it on tape as a player. An outside corner in Indiana. Size projects him inside, but there's an element in a group that says, hey, there's something. He might be an outside corner as well. I thought of Amik Robertson coming out of Louisiana Tech, who was a ball magnet while he was at Tech. His size said go inside. But his play in the NFL has been better when he's been an outside corner. So we'll see what happens with Pons. Either way, you're getting a heck of a player, and he's not getting out of the second round.
Yeah, let's remember he was the defensive MVP for the Hoosiers in both the Peach Bowl and the Rose Bowl. Avion Terrell, we know about his older brother, former first-round pick of the Falcons. This kid's making a name for himself.
He is, and in this case, I don't think we have any worries at all about what position he's going to play. He's going to be a nickel corner, a nickel all day long. He's going to go inside and play. Had a chance to talk with him earlier this week and asked him about the differences, and he just said outside is where the island is, inside is where all the traffic is, and I'm comfortable with all the traffic. I don't worry about that part of it at all. How about how easily he transitions in his back pedal and his movements? Look at this. Coming back, find the ball, locate it, catch it, now get up the sideline. They want to see you finish.
Malik Muhammad, he ran a 4.42 40, and hey, he went full sleeves on us, too. I like that.
And why not? That made him comfortable. And Chris didn't miss a drill and impressed in every single one of them. Really good movements, really good trend. Look how located the football, go up and catch it at the highest point. You will see that on tape with him as well. You will see that when you watch him play. Here he is going through the W. Nice and easy. Boom. Explodes out of it. Now go ahead and catch it, carry it on through. Now watch him change. Remember last night with the linebackers? Because they're so much bigger, harder to change direction to stop that truck's momentum going one way to move it the other. With defensive backs, they transition a lot easier, a little bit less weight. Look how easily he catches the football and then stays in bounds, a little spatial awareness.
So Toriano Pride started his career at Clemson, finished at Missouri. My guess is he ran there. 4.32. That's the best we got so far.
And not only that, when he ran, he wasn't late for the first meeting when he got there, was he?
Yeah.
Because he was more than on time. But he carried it over to the field work as well. One thing to run fast in a straight line. Can you move? Can you transition? Can you catch a football in the open field? He told our Stacey Dales he thought that he was underrated, that people were overlooking him. The rest of the people will not be overlooking from this point on.
And this is really the best part of this thing.
I had to. I had to have this.
Yep.
I had to have it. You got it, young man. Well done.
Yeah, this is part of the great part of this. There's a lot of pressure on these kids. They're meeting with a lot of people. They're up at all hours, and for them to deal with this pressure and perform like that.
And remember, he told Stacey he was trying to go from 4.36 to 4.34.
Right.
He got it down to 4.32. And to your point, Chris, about that pressure, you can see that pressure just lifted when you saw him dapping everybody, going back like, are you kidding me? Not only did I hit my goal, I exceeded it.
The 40-yard dash is obviously the part that we enjoy as fans, but it's all the measurables that are so important out there. So we had some broads and verts that also happened with the DBs. Brandon Cisse, we did not see him start South Carolina, but boy, almost 11 feet.
Yeah, and the Gamecocks have been putting out some defensive backs, haven't they? We've had Stephon Gilmore be a defensive player of the year in the NFL, right? J.C. Horn going to the Pro Bowl, all-pro type player. And then Charles Demings, look at this broad jump from Stephen F. Austin. Not afraid to play up.
And 42 in the vert.
Remember, he went to the Senior Bowl and acquitted himself nicely, and that is carried over here at the Combine.
We got some royalty in Will Lee III.
Yep.
Texas A&M, one of 13 Aggies here.
Surprised they don't call him Trey, right? Everybody gets that, right? But look at that 42-inch vertical. I think he ran into 4.5s. Another great athlete from Aggie land.
Julian Neal, where do you think he's going to fit on the field?
When I watch him, I think safety. All right, I see him. He's a big, physical, strong cornerback. He will probably want to stay at corner. There's a pride in being able to do that. But there's also the element. Did you see that body? Mm-hmm. And when you watch him play and how physical he is with the transitions, would not surprise me at all to see him transition back to the safety spot and be a really good player there.